G'day guys, it's Phantom, and today I'm going to be talking about Loki Season 2, the brand new MCU Disney Plus season of one of the best MCU show. Well, it is the best MCU show, but one of the best MCU projects, period. And this season was another great season. This review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, it's on Disney Plus. All the episodes are available. Loki is a character that I believe is one of the best written characters, especially after this season. Him in the first Avengers movie was a fantastic villain. He is probably one of the best MCU villains. He's probably top 2 behind Thanos, of course. He has proven himself throughout the series that he can do some good. He has become more of an anti-hero, and this season we see him care more and more about the TVA, even though that basically the entire first season he wanted to bring it down. This season picks up right off from when the first season ended, with He Who Remains being killed by Sylvie and pretty much destroying or kind of messing with the timelines and all that. And Loki, as we see him in the first episode, he is time slipping, which is a major problem. He can't control it, and he keeps switching between past, present, and future, which was kind of funny to see. The effects that he went through was pretty funny as well. We get introduced by a very cool character, Obi or Boris, played excellently by Kie Kwan, who I just want to see more of. He won the Best Supporting Actor Oscar this year, and I just want to see him in more and more things. He is so funny in this show. His character is amazing. His character is basically like the brains and everything behind how the TVA works. He created the TVA handbook, which in later episodes he finally achieves his goal of having a bestseller book, and that is what it is here. So we get to see him get out of the time slipping kind of thing at the very end, which leads into the second episode titled Breaking Brad, which is kind of a In this episode, we see them trying to basically break Brad, who is a character who is he is kind of like the antagonist in a bit of the show, and we see like a big group trying to prune all the branches, trying to kill innocent people, and you have the normal gang stopping them. This is probably the weakest episode. There's not really that much that goes on, but it was still pretty fun. To episode 3, we get introduced to Victor Timely, who is a variant of Kang, who has like a stammer kind of thing, which Jonathan Majors, he is amazing as always. He as Kang and all the variants, He Who Remains, he is just too good. This episode is kind of weird because we see more of Miss Minutes, and we get to see her like in a cartoon kind of clock thing to set at the area. I thought that her design was pretty cool, but she was completely psycho in this. We find out that all of her motives was because she wanted to be with Kang or with He Who Remains, which it's kind of weird. Episode 4 was easily one of the best. That episode alone is one of the best MCU things that ever has happened. We see some tragic stuff with the TVA's loom. There's too much branches going through. They have to expand it. So we get Victor Timely to come in, who is also a big brains person. So him, Casey, and Obi pretty much connect all their brains together. Not literally, but like, bring their smarts together to try to stop this. But then at the very, very end, when I first saw what happened, when Timely walked through to the thing to shoot the thing, honestly, that was terrifying. I did not expect that. The sound effects and the visuals and all that, you could just you saw inside of him, and he spaghettifies. I don't know what Marvel has with spaghetti, but everybody's being spaghetti-did. That was crazy, and then it had one of the biggest cliffhangers since Infinity War, where it explodes, and it was crazy. It is probably my second favorite episode in the entire series. We're going to be talking about my favorite one in a bit. Episode 5, we find out what happens. We see everybody we see all the members of the gang in what their life would be. Casey escaping Azkaban, which was pretty funny. Obi trying to sell his book. He is again a scientist, so he has a big brain. We see Mobius living the life in his jet ski, trying to sell some jet skis. We see like a little montage of him riding a jet ski. Isn't really like riding it, but like you see the fan playing his face, like a commercial kind of thing. So that was pretty funny. But we learn so much about Loki and his motives and his powers of time slipping, because after the thing exploded, he began to time slip again, but at the very end, he finally found out how to time slip, which was a very, very cool moment. And we get to see Sylvie actually accepting the fact that she has to help to save the TVA and all the timelines, because we see in her world that literally nothing matters until the TVA is saved. That little interaction and that little conversation between Loki and Sylvie was very, very touching. And at the very end, he finally controls his time slipping, and we see the next episode, the God of Stories. It is my favorite episode. It brings a full circle on the Loki character. We see an end to his character and the series, and it is it is the best episode, and easily better than any other MCU Disney Plus show. Pretty much altogether, the only show that you could compare it is Moon Knight or WandaVision, but this episode is a 10 out of 10 episode in my opinion. It is amazing, and he sacrifices himself. He has to make a decision between his friends or him being alone, and that aspect was extremely emotional, and it was just it is easily the best written episode. It is one of the best written things that MCU has ever written, or the MCU that Marvel has ever written. Interrogation with Mobius and Loki. He just drops bar after bar. And then everything that Loki said, it just came full circle. He has so many line references from other movies, and he has finally found his glorious purpose, which is him controlling the story, and he is now in control of the entire MCU and all the stories going forward. All the branches is in his power, and we see one of the greatest images, the tree of life from the Norse mythology, which was pretty cool to see. And this series was amazing. The only issue that I have with this show that I don't think that people have been talking about too much, but I have definitely seen some people complain about it. It is the way that the show looks. I saw on IMDb like the technical stuff, and they did change the cameras and all that and whatever. It honestly just looks ugly. It is way too grainy. I don't know if it is a creative decision or not, but it is way too grainy and it just looks ugly, making all the visual effects look kind of washed out and not very cool to look at. Even though the visual effects are really good, but the cinematography, the image is not very pretty to look at. The camera movements and all that, the camera having a mind of its own, was amazing. But honestly, the camera quality and it doesn't look good. That's pretty much like my only issue, and bits of episode 2. But otherwise, this is easily the best MCU show, one of the best MCU projects, period. And yeah, it was amazing. And I can't wait to see what they do next after this, how Loki controls everything. I just can't wait to see what happens next. So that was my review of Loki. What were your thoughts? I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of reviews throughout the week. The Grammy nominations came out. The new Netflix series, The Killer from David Fincher, also came out. I have not watched the Marvels yet. I don't really have that much time to do it. I have so much going on, but I want to watch it, even though that the reviews aren't looking that good. But I'm still gonna watch it though. It's an MCU movie. Of course I'm gonna watch it. That's my review of Loki. What are your thoughts and use? Have a good one.